everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports.
Thank you very much, Larry. While the skies may be ominous, there's never a bad day for... The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
Let's go. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shreds the tackle. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Here comes the Saints punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Pulled in at the 24. First down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. I don't know about you, partner, but on second and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
back to throw now on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And an alley to run. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Back to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Time running out here on the play clock. On play action, they'll throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
He's got time in the pocket, trying to lay one up deep. Oh, wide open, complete. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, Those guys made that play possible.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense, so you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that was really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here we go now. Blue line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking for someone to throw to. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And Hawker's kick here is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Play clock winding down. So just a lone field goal in this. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They come up in an offset eye. They'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, receiver won in a big way.
So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd.
Let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Touchdown, New Orleans! A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Now this offense ready to take over again. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. He'll drop to throw, and he will find his man on the outside. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there. In this game, so far, he's been denied.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets... And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
Come on, let's go!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it. Because nowadays, you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards, probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here? And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is taken at about the 14. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
15 yards through the air and a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw now on first down. Flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. So it's halftime here in... Jeez, they don't even want to let their guys get a drink of water. All right, third quarter, let's get to it. That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Let's go. What? None. What? None.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on here to punt it away.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll run it here. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find some.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. And now back out comes the offense. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
He'll find his man on the comeback route. Complete. A good pickup there at 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And sometimes maybe, because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there's a breakdown or someone made a mistake or there was an error. Sometimes it's exactly as you described it. Sometimes they just made better plays, and that's what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks. Someone's got to find a way to cover this guy. Otherwise, he may set some records.
They're going to look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Now, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
Well, they started this drive in as tough a spot as you can at their own 1, so they're able to march it into field goal range and get 3.
I thought that was a very poised, dare say classy sort of a drive. Backed up in the shadow of your own end zone, yet you come out of it and put points on the board. Well executed.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Finding time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Going to throw right side here. Complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's back now here on EA Sports. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got room. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Past the 20. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. An even 90 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. And that run massively increased his production. And now it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Oftentimes when you give up a touchdown, it's really a deflation for your entire unit. And the special teams group, when they run out there, they still feel it, and maybe they don't go after it so much. Instead, they gave great effort there, blocked the extra point, and really gave them a lift after giving up the score.
Yeah, gave up the touchdown, lost the lead, but a nice job to get in there and block it. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll come out throwing here on first down. His throw incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Strong left.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Anytime there's an open target and there's a reception, the next thing you're looking for, the ability to break a tackle and gain additional yardage. That's what we just saw.
Watch left. Stop right there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now let's go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. A gain of 32 that time. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks, because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer, because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him, because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
And here's motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal. And if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for third. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
They're not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll look to throw again. And Cooks has it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion.
Green, 39.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
He'll look to throw, and he will find his man on the outside. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it second down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Their big tight end, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. And that will make this a 4-point game.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The gun. They'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on third on the field.
Could they blitz?
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a group.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got time. And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA.
Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Out of the gun now on third down. He's got time in the pocket. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth. Time for a break. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 10. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Come on, let's go.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Second down now after the pass completion. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That one goes for 24 yards. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. So with next to nothing left on the clock, they get Charles what should be the game-winning touchdown catch.
That felt so much like practice and preparation coming together. So many times your last practice of the week, you score the game-winning touchdown. Everyone leaves the field feeling good about themselves. They got it done for real in this situation.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The defense now working their way back onto the field. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get?
That's always the key, isn't it?
We're nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding time. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he loses the football a second time. And this will be scooped up by the defense.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense.
And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they take a knee. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet.